Hey friends, welcome and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Shadavia and this is Oshi Budgets, where I talk about all things money, budgeting, and savings related. On my channel, you will see things like budget with me's, where I share my real numbers. I do cash envelope stuffings, some savings challenges, and I also give you guys debt and savings updates on my own personal financial journey. So if any of that is content you're into, do me a favor and give today's video a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and don't forget that notification bell, you guys, so you never miss the next time I post. By the title of today's video, you can see we are doing a $421 low-income cash envelope stuffing. So today's cash stuffing, we are going to be cash stuffing for my variable expenses, getting 1 month ahead, and also my sinking funds. But today's cash stuffing is also my first cash stuffing of May 2023. So if you want to see how I'm utilizing the cash envelope method or the cash envelope system to keep up with my daily or weekly expenses, then just keep watching today's video. Now, as I mentioned, today is going to be my cash stuffing for my May paycheck number 1. So let's go ahead and get straight into today's cash count, and then we can start cash stuffing our envelopes. So we have a total of 50, 100, 150, 200, 20, 40, 60, 80, 300, 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 95, 400, 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So $421 that we are going to be cash stuffing for my variable expenses. But as I mentioned, we're also going to be cash stuffing my envelope for getting 1 month ahead, and then my sinking funds binder as well. So let me go ahead and get this cash set up. And if you guys can tell, I am still struggling with getting my voice back. So if I sound a little weird, that is exactly why. I have been struggling for the past week, you guys, but I still wanted to make sure that I am staying consistent and I am getting this content out for you guys. So let's go ahead and get my cash envelope binder open, and then we'll start with my variable expenses. Now, this particular binder is my variable expenses, again, things that I spend cash for on a daily or weekly basis. And so the first cash envelope that I have in this binder is my groceries envelope. Now, groceries has a $100 weekly budget, and so how I budget out for my groceries is that 1 week I'll put the money aside, and then the next week my husband put the budget aside, and that's how we work our grocery budget. So since this is my week and I just got paid, then I'm gonna go ahead and put the $100 aside in this cash envelope. So that is 50, 70, 90, 100. That is going into our groceries envelope. And one of the things that I've been thinking about as I'm adjusting my budget is the fact that school is almost out. And so what that means is that we may need to go ahead and start slowly increasing our grocery budget just to accommodate for our kids being out of school. So now they'll probably be eating breakfast, lunch, more snacks. So we may need to go ahead and increase that, but we still have a few weeks left of school in session. And so again, we'll just revisit that conversation in the next few weeks. The next cash envelope that I have in my cash envelope binder is my gas. Now, this is my car gas for anyone who is new. And I do have the luxury of being able to work from home. So what that means for my May budget and really all of my budgets is that I typically only need to fill up at least 1 per bi-weekly paycheck. And so this May paycheck number 1, I did budget out my normal $60. So let's go ahead and get that $60 aside. And a lot of times it doesn't take the full $60. And so what I like to do is that if there's anything left over in this gas envelope, then I'll just roll it over to my car maintenance sinking fund. So for gas, we have 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, $60 into this cash envelope. And again, this is to last me the full 2 weeks. Now I'm still riding on gas from my last paycheck, which is great because that means that it's gonna stretch me a little bit further, and I may not even have to fill up again until I get paid again. But we'll see when that time comes. So that's my gas envelope, you guys. The next cash envelope that I have in this variable expense binder is my household envelope. Now this household budget for my family, what it looks like is anything that we need for our household cleaning products, toiletries, within this next 2 weeks. It doesn't cover every single thing that we would ever need, but when that time comes, we just have to prioritize based off of what we have set aside for this budget. So for this May paycheck number 1, I did budget out $25, and I'm just gonna split that up a bit just in case we have multiple store runs. So that's gonna be 10, 20, and then 25 again that I'm putting into household cash envelope. So let me get that open. The next cash envelope that I have in this binder for my variable expenses is my self-care, you guys. And so what I like to do with my budget, I do like to put at least something aside for myself. Not all the time is it $5, not all the time is it $10. So it does vary based off of what my priorities are at that time, but I do like to just put money aside for myself, just to be able to treat myself every once in a while. Mother's Day is coming up, and so I wanted to make sure that in my May paycheck number 1, I did budget out to, you know, take that in consideration for myself and be able to treat myself, you know, at least to one thing that I wanted to do. And so for this May paycheck number 1, I did go ahead and budget out $55. So let's do this: 20, 40, 50, and then we're gonna do 55, just like that. And if you guys haven't checked out my May budget with me, I'll make sure to link it in the description box below. But that's how I know how much is going to go into each cash envelope. I've already done my budget for my first paycheck. Now I'm just, you know, I just went to the bank, took the cash out that I need for my envelopes, and then that's how I know how much to cash stuff into each one. But again, if you haven't seen that video, I'll make sure to leave it somewhere in the description box below, so you can definitely check that out. The next cash envelope that I have in this variable expense binder is my family and fun. It does just say family, but it is for us to be able to do something fun. So sometimes that looks like going out to a restaurant. Sometimes that may be an arcade. Sometimes it just may be picking up snacks and going to the lake. Whatever that looks like for our family, I do like to make sure that I'm putting money aside because there is just so much, you know, only so much that you can do inside, and kids get really antsy and they like to do things. And so I want to make sure that we have funds set aside to be able to do some of those things. I think for these next 2 weeks, Chuck E. Cheese is something that my youngest has requested or mentioned that she wanted to do. So maybe that's something that we could use our family and fun envelope for. So for this May paycheck number 1, I did budget out $75. So let me go ahead and grab the 50, 70, 75 that I'm putting aside for family and fun. And again, that's just for us to be able to have some kind of entertainment within these next 2 weeks. Again, all of my cash envelope, you guys, it's things that I spend money on a weekly or a daily basis. It doesn't cover every single thing that I will ever need. But that would be, you know, ideal situation. But I do realize one thing about budgeting is that if you don't have it this paycheck, you may have it next paycheck. So you have to balance it out and make it make sense for your budget. But that is my variable expenses. And then the cash envelope that I'm probably most excited to cash stuff for today is my 1 month ahead. So let me move that up there. And so if you guys didn't know, I do have a goal this year to get 1 month ahead on bills. And so what I've done is I've written down, based off the cash envelopes that I have, different categories to get myself 1 month ahead. And so I started with the smallest one, and I'm kind of working my way up because I like to celebrate those small wins. Versus, you know, starting with the largest one and then working my way down. That's just how I personally like to do it, and I can say I've made great progress doing it that way. So the cash envelope that I'm currently working on is my groceries, and so this one has a month ahead goal of $400. So today we should actually be able to finish this one because I did budget out $50 to add to this grocery month ahead. So let's just double check to make sure. And we have 100, 150, 200, 250, 300, 350, 370, 380, 390, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 400. So awesome, you guys. So if you made it to this part of the video, leave me a comment with hashtag groceries because I did just meet my goal with my groceries 1 month ahead, which means we are now able to move over to our last month ahead cash envelope, which is going to be our bills envelope. Now that one's going to take quite a bit of time because I think the goal is around $1,500, if not more. But now we know that that's the last cash envelope that we're working towards, and we can get a little more aggressive with, you know, trying to reach that goal as soon as possible. And then the last of this is actually for my sinking funds. Now I haven't actually decided how I'm going to allocate these funds just yet. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and let me move this off to the side. So I'm going to go ahead and just add this to my sinking funds savings envelope until I actually decide how I want to allocate my sinking funds. So from May paycheck number 1, it's 20, 40, 50, 55, 56. So not a lot, but still anything better than zero that you're able to save, you guys, is a blessing. And this is just going to help me alleviate some of the financial strain that may come with some of my future expenses. It's better to be as prepared as you possibly can. So if you do have, you know, some extra funds and you want to kind of prepare for some future expenses, I will highly encourage that as well. But that is it for today's cash stuffing, you guys. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, let me know how long you've been doing cash stuffing. If you enjoyed it, as always, please give it a thumbs up, you guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and don't forget that notification bell so you never miss the next time I post. As always, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.